Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the 3 Top Gamer here to give you a quick little, let's say, first impressions video on my overall thoughts on the PlayStation 5 after having it for a little bit over a week. Now, before I get into my overall thoughts on the PlayStation 5 as a whole, if you do happen to enjoy this little kind of semi-breakdown video, I would really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and make sure to press the subscribe button, because every subscription really helps me get me to the end of the year goal. So, the PlayStation 5. Everyone's trying to get their hands on them. Some people are having exceptional difficulty with them. Some of them have actually had them for a while. Now, after having the PlayStation 5 for a little bit over a week, if I could describe it in, say, a quick summary, overall, I like the PlayStation 5, I just don't love it. Not yet. Now, it might simply be due to the fact that I would say at this current state, there really aren't really many games that are even worth going out of your way to actually buy a PlayStation 5. So I will say this, if you do not have a PlayStation 5 yet, I would not stress too much over it, because in my opinion, there's really nothing games-wise that I would say makes this a need-to-own console right now. And there's really nothing even about the overall experience in terms of what this console can do that I think justifies it as you need to get this right now. Because this console doesn't really do anything that prior consoles that couldn't do, in the sense that in terms of certain games that I'm playing with it. I mean, as it stands right now, I mean, I spent almost $800 to get this with a bundle pack, which that in itself was crazy, and I ended up kind of just giving away or technically selling the other parts. So I mean, this thing came with like an extra game or an extra controller. I even got the PlayStation camera, which came with that. And so you definitely want to have a pretty amazing experience in terms of the amount of money that you put into it. And on top of that, I spent another $600 getting a TV that has the HDMI 2.0 ports, as well as getting a rather expensive HDMI cable, just to get the best experience. Because if you're going to get a new console, you should probably play it on a TV that can take full advantage of all the supposed advantages that the PlayStation 5 has. However, the only thing that I've seemed to have noticed, at least in terms of the primary interface that the PlayStation 5 uses, is that they simply tried to organize it by separating games and media. Instead of having everything on a single bar and have it all in one place, they've made a function that allows you to have your games in one section and your media in another one. Now, I can understand that they would like to be more organized, but when I think back to the two prior interfaces that I've used in terms of the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, I never had a problem with that. I was always able to organize it, especially with the PlayStation 4, when you could actually make folders, and you could keep all those folders with everything that you need with them. So I had all my streaming services in one folder, and I had all my games that I had already installed in another folder. I've only been playing one game, and that's Devil May Cry 5, and I have to admit, this game doesn't feel any much different than Devil May Cry 5 on the PlayStation 4. I mean, unless you showed me, I can't even tell if the game looks any better. I mean, Devil May Cry 5 on the PlayStation 4, especially on my PlayStation 4 Pro, looked really, really good. And even with this brand new TV, I can't really tell. It's one of those things that where people will tell you that the game looks good, but unless you see like a side-by-side picture comparison, you can't really tell. And it never really bothered me. Now, I am having fun with this game, but it's just me replaying it, playing as Virgil, and eventually I'll go back and play as the other 3 characters. Another thing that I'm also a little bit disappointed with is the function of the DualShock 5 controller. Now, everyone was going absolutely apeshit talking about how innovative this controller was, and it had all these sensors and functions and things with the triggers. And now, I don't know if it's just me, since this is the only game I've been playing on it with, but all of those, it doesn't feel any different from any other controller. I mean, I can't tell. I mean, it's really one of those games where, like, they spent so much time amping up this controller. I need to play something that allows me to actually kind of notice it, because I'm just playing Devil May Cry. I mean, it doesn't feel any different from the prior 2 generations of controls that I played with PlayStation games. So, yeah. Now, I haven't had a chance to really try out the backwards compatibility. I know that this game has it, but I've not really had a reason to actually want to replay it. I got a large collection of games that I could play, but I'm not sure which one I would want to play on the PlayStation 5. I mean, it's already installed on my PlayStation 4 Pro, and it looks good. And that's the funny thing. I always complained about well, maybe not semi-complained, but I stated that the primary flaw that the PlayStation 4 had was that it was just not backwards compatible with older games, because I had all these discs, and so you always had to have your PlayStation, or at least I do. I still have my PlayStation 3 plugged up, and I still do. But for this one is backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 games, yet I don't really feel a need to try it out. It's such a weird phenomenon. I actually do have my PlayStation 5 and my PlayStation 4 Pro and my PlayStation 3 Slim all plugged up. And if I want to play a certain type of game on one console, I would just go on that console. I want to play a PlayStation 3 game, I pop into my PlayStation 3. If I want to play a PlayStation 4 game, I turn on my PlayStation 4. I don't really seem to have that I don't seem to have that need to want to play a PlayStation 4 game on my PlayStation 5. And on top of that, there's a number of downloads that I recently made that can't be played on the PlayStation 5. And so it's clear that Sony still has plans for the PlayStation 4 to make sure that people are still playing it, because it's going to be a while until, I would say the audience for the PlayStation 5 is big enough to the point where they're satisfied. And so they still want to support the PlayStation 4. And that's a direction I absolutely support. So while I am having fun, at least just, playing this game, I would say that as of right now, as in the current state that I would think that the PlayStation 5 community is in, I would say you should probably hold off until there's at least like a few games that are like exclusive to the PlayStation 5 that are like must-play games, which if pretty much I think the best time to actually get a PlayStation 5 would probably be this upcoming holiday season, because Returnal, for me at least, is like the first definitive game that is exclusive to PlayStation 5 that really needs to do for the PlayStation 5 what infamous Second Son did for the PlayStation 4. Because I actually did get a PlayStation 4, an original PlayStation 4, at launch, but when I looked back on it, I really didn't need it for like a good 5 to 6 months until infamous Second Son came out. That was the first game that I thought that, that is a game that is actually worth paying full price to get a console to play. It was that good in my opinion. And I think Returnal, coming at the end of this month, needs to do that. There's been a lot of delays, and a lot of games that were exclusive to PlayStation 5 have been pushed back. So I think in terms of games, because that's what you want to do with PlayStation 5. You want a game on it. It needs a series, or at least a few definitive key games that are exclusive to the PlayStation 5 that must make it a must-buy console. And that is not what it is right now. So again, if you do not have a PlayStation 5, please do not stress about it, because I don't think that unless you're a reviewer like me who needs the next console in order to review games, then, that's why I felt like this was a need to get, because, I need to review games, I need to be able to record content, and so that's a need for me. But if you're not a YouTuber or someone who doesn't have necessarily the funds to pick up a PlayStation 5, I would not stress. Wait till the end of the year, wait till there's a few more PlayStation 5 exclusive games, and then pick up a PlayStation 5. And I think at that point in time, the manufacturing rate of the PlayStation 5 should be better. Therefore, it should be easier to pick up, and you don't have to pay the exceptional high prices that a lot of us have had to do in order to get one of these. So those are just my initial thoughts of my overall experience with the PlayStation 5 so far. I am having fun with it. I think maybe sometime next month I might stream 1 or 2 games off of it. But yeah, that's just... But, believe it or not, I actually find myself going back and playing not only the PlayStation 4, but the PlayStation 3 more than the PlayStation 5. But heck, I think that'll certainly change as more games come out over the course of the year. So those are just my initial thoughts on the PlayStation 5. If you also have a PlayStation 5, what are your thoughts on your overall experience with it so far? Share your thoughts with me and everyone else in the comments down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.